Okay, I'm so excited to have Madeline It's Merlo, like the
Merlo.
wine.
Mm-hmm.
Do you love the wine?
I feel like I've just had so many wine jokes ever since I was a kid. Technically, it's Italian. So it's the French is Merlot with a T on the end, so there's no T. So it's technically not the wine, but it's pronounced the same way.
But it's such like a cool name, Madeline Merlo.
Yeah, definitely
Just
the
flows.
alliteration. My middle name's Ray too, Madeline Ray Merlo. Yeah, it's quite country too, like Madeline Ray.
And you've been doing country, in love with country since being a child.
Yeah, since truly forever.
I know. How did you find that love so soon? And from Canada?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I definitely grew up with a lot of music around, but my first performance was
Kirby's moving. My bearded dragon is joining. Actually, it's not mine. My daughter's bearded
going?
dragon is joining the conversation. We're seeing if she can hang today.
I like how we didn't explain that at all too. It's just
I kind of hopped right in acting like it's normal. But, we have a bearded dragon with us today. Madeline's
we're excited
super
about
chill.
it. Yeah, we really are.
You said you love
it's
animals.
Really cool. I do. All types, yeah.
The only problem is if she poops, but she only poops once a week.
That kind of scared me a little.
You were going to hold her?
You're like, do you want to hold her? I was like, yeah. And you're like, if she poops, it's, what did you say, horrible?
It's the gnarliest poop you've ever seen in your life.
That scared me a little bit for sure. But
it's like calcified pee comes out first that's white. And then on top of it is the decompensated or whatever cockroaches that come out on top. So decomposed. So it's...
Has that happened on somebody yet?
My daughter.
Oh.
Yeah, it happened on her like right away.
Oh no.
But it was like initiation,
There you go. Now it can't get worse from here, right?
Yeah, now we bathe her and she pooped in the bathtub. So
she's so beautiful though. She really is.
Thank you for noticing her beauty.
Yeah, she is. She's beautiful.
She's a beautiful girl.
She is, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you loved country music from the start, from day one. You're in Canada. You won all the awards in Canada. You got going at a young age.
Yeah. I've always done it. Like my first performance was at 6 years old in my kindergarten talent show, and I don't even know what prompted me to want to do that, but I remember my mom being like, okay, she can hold a tune a little better than the average 6-year-old, and I was obsessed. I just wanted to do it all the time, and I was putting on performances for everybody, and and
we might not be able to make it.
yeah, and yeah, I never wanted to do anything else. In my little 2nd grade notebook, I'm like, I want to be a singer. I never had a choice almost. It just always was what I was going to do. And then I signed my first record deal when I was not even 18 and started.
In Canada?
Yeah, up in Canada.
What is it like starting in Canada? What's it like in that world up there?
I mean, there's a ton. It's a big country community. There's a lot of rural areas in Canada. So I feel like here, let's go back down here. Oh, okay. We get back there. Let's go back down.
The reason I'm bringing Kirby into this is because ever since I started posting about Kirby,
everybody wants to see it.
People have gone nuts for her. They freaking love it. I think it's because
it's your thing now. It's very unique.
It's kind of
it's
unique.
your brand.
I would never ever in 1 million years have thought that I would be a bearded dragon person.
Yeah.
Or a lizard person.
Yeah.
But people want to know about a bearded dragon.
You don't that's what I mean. You don't really come across one that often. So
I'm who Game of Thrones, what's her name?
Khaleesi. Your mother of dragons. I thought that right away.
Oh, watch out, babe.
I love it.
Are you trying to come in? Yeah, do you want to take her actually? Will you grab Kirby? We're trying to do her in the podcast, but were you wondering where she is?
Well, I saw her.
Okay, here she is. Yeah.
Hey, how are you?
Taking back.
Yeah, you can have the dragon. Michael had to come grab Kirby. I mean, we're just seeing if she can hang. You know? Yay! It is like a dinosaur, alligator, prehistoric type thing.
Yes, I love that stuff. That it's mine, but I like a emu or those giant birds with their huge feet, or sharks or something. They've been around forever and they look like dinosaurs. It's
I know,
crazy.
and there's so few left. My dad was actually bit in the face by a shark.
What kind of shark?
It was either a reef shark or a Nerf shark.
Wow.
We were spearfishing in the Bahamas.
No way.
And I am all over the place, but don't worry, I will come back, everyone. This is my brand, as I love to get sidetracked by stories.
Yeah, me too.
We were in the Bahamas spearfishing, and he loves to spear, and he speared a fish, and there's blood in the water, and the
Is his
shark.
face okay?
Oh, he loves it. It's just like a little scar. He thinks that makes him so cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
That's wild.
But he's totally fine. The shark was not trying to attack him. It was trying to get the fish.
Yeah.
So he always likes to say it was not the shark's fault.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no shark slander around here. Absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Canada, what's it like up there? Is it hard to get into the music industry in Canada?
It's just smaller. It's similar to the Texas country scene where it's its own independent thing. We've got our own award show. Radio works different. It's like a whole other thing. People say that the sound of it is a little bit different as well, which is kind of hard for me to differentiate just coming from there. But I grew up riding horses, and at the barn you listen to country music, and so it was just really a part of like what I did, and would perform all kinds of songs, but majority country. And then when it came to being like, okay, what kind of music do I want to make, it was very clear that country was going to be the direction that I went. And the way that my whole thing kind of happened is really crazy, because I had auditioned for this like rock school, and I'm like 16 at this time, and I didn't get in, but
a rock school, like to go to school.
It was like a program where they would there was teachers and they would teach you something.
So
and
you were unconventional.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was just trying to take advantage of every opportunity. I'm sure my mom had found it online. Like, I did a million singing competitions and talent shows and commercials and whatever it was that I could do. My mom was willing to drive me to audition, which is so sweet.
You're the best mom.
She literally is the best.
And sister.
Yes.
I saw
Great mom,
all your
great
posts about
sister.
them. Y'all are like a little trio.
Totally. Yeah. It was just the three of us. And
was your dad always absent?
He definitely was absent even when he was there, and if he was there, he was not a very good energy. So I think as soon as I got a little older, I was kind of like, if he was home, like I would just like keep driving and
like
go to
anger?
my friend's house kind of thing. Yeah. Very angry, kind of volatile person. Just not like a good guy, I guess, if that makes sense.
Unhealed.
Lots to heal for sure. So,
which I've noticed you've done a lot of healing. Even like your songs are so like advanced consciously.
Thanks.
Like I feel like you're not. I mean, you're writing like breakup songs and you're writing like real life stuff, but you're also like very conscious and aware of like your mental well being and like the process of healing. Do you think that's from your childhood and like witnessing your dad being unhealed, kind of?
That's like, I've never actually like thought that before. I think for me, like I grew up it was a little unconventional, and it was hard. I felt a lot of envy and like discomfort, feeling like my home life like didn't look like other people's.
That's where you're at one house down from the girl next door.
Yeah.
You just felt like you were like almost there, but not quite.
And I was really angry, and I didn't feel like anyone was listening to me. And so I got into a lot of trouble. Like I was really just searching for things, and ended up in some situations and had some trauma. And it was just like kind of a bit of a wreck. And I think that it all kind of caught up to me, and I started to experience a lot of like anxiety and panic, and that it got so bad that I had to seek help. Like I needed to talk to somebody,
like
and
a therapist.
Totally. And that like intervention, it really saved my life, but it also like unlocked this like level of consciousness that I think I didn't know was there. And that's why I always think there's so many benefits to going to therapy or going on your mental health journey, but like it just deepened and widened, and like I felt like I was kind of asleep, and it woke me up, as well as like my spirituality as well. I kind of came to Christianity later in life, and it was the same type of thing where I was like,
but that's awesome because it's real.
Totally. Absolutely.
It wasn't, you didn't just grow up with it and inherit someone's beliefs. You actually have your own beliefs.
Nobody was ever like, you should go to church, whatever. It was truly at the ground zero, bottom, low place where someone had invited me to church so much, and I had turned them down so much. And then one day I was like, you know what, like F it, how much worse can it get, kind of thing. I'll try anything. And then it was like this like wave of, you know, all the magical things that come with opening your heart.
What was the breaking moment for you?
I remember just being really numb. Like I was just super apathetic about everything. I didn't care about everything. So similar to, I mean, really depression, really that's the main kind of indicator. And just didn't want to be home. I didn't want to be in my body. I kind of wanted to be somewhere else. And so a lot of dissociating, a lot of drinking, a lot of just like however I can just kind of run from my life. And
oh my gosh. And your song Makeup, holy cow.
Thank you. Thank you.
Talk about like putting into words, like what is the lines like? I don't know if I hate my body because my mom always did, or if I have an anger because like
yeah.
Oh my God, I was like, girl, You are
That's like my favorite song. Well, I mean, that song I don't love performing it because it's like
triggering
a little bit, and you just have to take this huge deep breath and then sing this like incredibly personal song to this crowd of people who don't know, and it's like I don't know. It's a hard one, but writing it, like I've never felt more like it was coming from somewhere else, and I was just like writing it down. Like it was really kind of spooky the way that it happened. It came so easily, and just the writing of it and the thinking about it, because I knew I wanted to write this kind of song, was so healing in a real way for me. And I think it's just so important, because whatever your trauma or these like cycles are in your family, whether they're, you know, body image issues or anger or alcoholism or whatever it is, you just kind of feel like you're really predisposed to it, and it's almost like, oh, I have to have this, like I have to hold it, and it's like you don't. You can be whoever you want. Your cycle can end with you, and we hear that, but that was this real moment where it was like I have complete control.
You felt it.
I felt it
instead of just hearing people say that, because a lot of that's just like words until you actually like internalize it and feel it for yourself.
Absolutely. And like with the anger too, I mean, like it was my husband, my boyfriend at the time. He was like, it's like you kind of like, you're not even home when you get really angry. And that, I just remember sobbing. I was like, that was like my dad. Like he just wasn't there because he was so mad. And it was heartbreaking to me. And I'm like, I can't be that. And oh my gosh, I'm not going to be an angry mom like one day. Like I cannot do that. And so I was like, how do I like unpack this and figure out tools and know when I'm like getting kind of heated? I'm like, I need to step away. And you would never know that about me, like, because I'm a very chill, happy person. But for some reason, like I could get into this space where I would just kind of lose my shit. Can we swear? I don't know. Oh, yeah. And it wasn't cute. And
you probably felt terrible afterwards.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like I very much relate to you, because I am so empathetic to the point where it's like debilitating. And I have had to work so much on it. I'm 41 years old now, and I finally am at a place where I can like exist in the world, I think, without like, I really can't watch the news. I can't hear about kids suffering. Like, it's not like I want to put my head in the sand, but also it's like I know I cannot hear about things that I can't help with at this point in my life, because I will internalize it. It will ruin my day. It will sink my vibration, because I'm like, oh my God, the world is so full of suffering. Like,
and other people
so traumatic.
Aren't that upset, and you're like, what do you mean? Like, how are you just like okay with that? And then like people are like, well, you know, I can't personally do anything right this second, but I totally feel you.
But I had an anger problem too. Like I would lose it, and it would come over me. And it's like I knew I wasn't an angry person because I knew I was so loving and empathetic, but like I would just like lose my shit, and I would feel terrible afterwards. Just awful, you know?
For sure. And I think too, like when you have the right partner, like I remember my husband or boyfriend at the time, his name was Chase, he would say, you can't talk to me like that. Like you can't do that, but very calmly.
So he's calm.
So he's very calm, and he would never reach me at the thing, which makes me feel even worse.
So he would not energy match.
He wouldn't energy match. He would look at me in disbelief and be like, who the F do you think you're talking to like that? And I was like, oh my gosh, you're so right. And I had this real moment where I was like, I'm going to lose this person if I don't figure this out. And,
wow.
Yeah, but I always just thought like, yeah, I have a short temper. I'm Italian. Like I'm a firecracker.
It's kind of
like,
part of your
this is
your
who
makeup.
I am.
Your makeup.
My makeup, exactly. And then it was like, no, it doesn't have to be. You know, so you can figure out like, okay, I'm getting really worked up right now. I need to like take a step away. And
yeah, what are your tools?
Really, just that. But like, man, I think it's just like taking the deep breath and being just aware of it.
Like
I think
you feel
the
it
first
coming
thing,
on.
Yeah, I'm getting really unreasonably angry about this. Maybe I need to like take a beat, take a breath, and also looking at whoever. And it was really like it was coming at my partner. I wouldn't say I'm like snapping on like random people. It's really the people you love the most. I think that you feel like you can be like that with, but being like, you don't want to, like you said, you feel so bad after, like you don't want to feel like that. It's not who you are. You don't have to be like that. So.
And even if you're right, you know, my sister-in-law always says, you're right, you're rude, you're wrong. And it's like, man, I'm usually right with my anger, but then my anger takes it to a place where I'm no longer right because now I'm wrong because I just crushed my point with my anger.
I love that. You're right, you're rude. You're wrong. That's great. I love that.
But I can tell, like, even your songs, oh my gosh, Middle of the Bed. That song is like, If that song is so sonically addicting too.
Thank you so much.
Like
I love that song so much.
Not just your lyrics, but like the sonics of your sound. It is like, oh my God, I am like so sucked in. I could not stop listening to your music. And is all of your music like this, or did you kind of like take a pivot with this EP or this body of work? How did we get here?
Yeah, I mean, I think my producer has a lot of influences. His name is Zach Crowell, and he's just really cool and really is explorative in what he wants to do with songs. And I think for this project too, to just be like, okay, let's like push some of the barriers away and like try something new and try something that is a little genre bending, and it is with its melody and all the other things and stuff. So I think it's just about finding a little bit of freedom and creativity in it and wanting to sound different. I mean, ultimately being in this business is so hard because you're trying to like be influenced by the genre and the culture around you and everything, but you also have to have these little blinders on where you're like, I can't be Lainey Wilson. She's really good at that. So my music is this way, but wait, that's what's doing really okay, but I can't change because this is what I do. And it's like staying true to yourself. It's always going to work, or it's only going to work really when it's true to yourself. You can't just be like mimicking other things and think it's going to be great. So that's also it too, just trying to follow, what feels natural to me, what I would like to hear as a listener. I think I come from that part a lot as well.
It is so true though. And you posted something about this too, where it's like, I don't know if it was a song or if you were doing a skit or something, but you're like, when you're like trying to get the algorithm to work for you, but at the same time it's like you have to be like true to yourself and all that.
Yeah.
How is it playing ball these days in this industry where yes, you can have the talent, you're coming from Canada, you had like all these awards, you're like songwriter of the year in Canada, nominated for, what was it, let me just read them off so we can get it right. CCMA Female Artist of the Year nominee, you are the 2024 CMT Next Women of Country Music, 2015 Canadian CCMA Rising Star Award, 2015.
Yeah,
10 years ago. Yeah. You've been crushing for 10 years. 2021 Canadian CCMA Songwriter of the Year, and then 3-time nominated for CCMA Female Artist of the Year. Winner of season 2 premiere of you were on the freaking show Songland.
Yeah.
And you won it?
I know.
I mean, that was fun with Shane McAnally.
Yeah. He was my coach.
Oh, was it awesome working with him?
Do you want to know what's so insane is that my friend Molly worked at Smack, which is like his publishing company. And this is like a year before, she was going through his like boxes and she found all these like old Shane keychains of him, like, cause he had like an album back in the day, or they made them into keychains, something like that. And I was like, he was like my dream co-writer. He was like, I mean, same trailer, different park. Is the KC record is like one of my favorite records. The writing on that, like I've just been such a super fan of his, and she gave me his little keychain and I had it on my keys for a year. And then
You're such a manifester.
And I get randomly like this casting director reached out, and we sent him one song.
So you didn't even apply for it?
No, I had actually applied for another show that casting director was doing a year before that never got made. It was like,
he just kept you on his radar.
Yeah, I kept me on his radar. He's like, I remember you. Do you have any? I remember you being like a country girl. Like, do you have any country songs? And I sent one song, and they were like, you're hired. Your flight's tomorrow. It was like no time. I was like, I need a spray tan. Like, what? It's like, what am I gonna wear? But yeah, it was so insane. And then when I got there, I got paired with Shane. And
did you show him your keychain?
Yes. And I'm like, you're gonna like call the police because I'm like such a psycho, but like you're my dream co-write and like you're on my keys. And he was like, oh my gosh.
And now you were just like thrown into the show without really even knowing, and he's now your mentor?
Yeah. It was so incredible. And when you don't know like who you're live pitching to, so you walk out there and it's Lady A, and it was 3 men and me as like contestants of that episode. And I was like, okay, there's a girl. Hillary's a girl. And so I'm a girl. Like, maybe that's going to help me. But you have no idea, like, how the other song sounded like how, like, I had no idea, like, how it was going, but watching it back.
And you're writing a song, like, live on TV, right?
Well, you bring in your song, and then you sing it for them, and they're just sitting in their chairs. And then you spend, like, 30 to 35 minutes probably them, like, dissecting the song and, like, giving you critiques on it and, like, how they would make it better if it was for them.
And Shane dissected it?
Shane, Ryan, Esther, all of Lady A, like they're just going back and forth, like what if you did this, like what if you did that, and you just kind of stand there and you're like, yeah.
So you're kind of like group co-writing,
kind of. And then they decided,
do you have to go then take their suggestions and rewrite it?
Yeah, and so
they're not going to rewrite it with you. They give you all their suggestions, and you go by yourself and rewrite it.
You go with Shane. So they pick. So every contestant, I think they send one home, and then each contestant gets a coach. And so me and Shane we went to Ryan Tedder's studio in LA.
I mean,
insane.
Stop it.
Insane. And then me and Shane spent like and another kind of engineer named Andrew DeRoberts. We spent like, I don't know, 7 or 8 hours kind of like rewriting the song. Yeah, and it was so cool because you have the transcripts. You're like, oh, Hillary really liked this part. Let's put this in. And he had written songs for them before and knows them so well. So he's like, I know they're going to love this. I know they're going to love that.
So you're writing a song for them. Is that Champagne Nights?
Yeah, and that's Champagne Night.
Wait, okay.
Yeah.
So they actually, you wrote the song on Songland, and then Lady A actually cut it?
Yes.
And it became a hit?
Yes, which has never happened from that show. Isn't that insane? It was crazy.
Did they have to cut it?
No. I mean,
they just loved it.
They loved it.
Are they co-writers on it?
Mm-hmm.
So all y'all are co-writers.
All of us are co-writers.
What a cool show.
It's real. I know. I hope they bring it back because it was awesome. I had such a great experience, and even like I remember in that session, Shane would say a line, and I would be like, "Oh, it's so good," and he'd be like, "No, not good enough," and I was like, "Oh," like it just immediately. I was like, "Oh, this is the." Like level that people are working at, like, and I came back being like, okay, just a whole kind of new perspective on the quality that, you know, songs are really getting cut at. And
so you got your first cut in like the country music America, like coming off that show.
Yes.
And then Lady A was on it, loved it, cut it. What did it go to?
One.
No,
girl, for 3 weeks.
It went to
number 3-week number one. Yes, it was
Stop
insane. It was crazy.
it.
They had a song on radio at that time,
and they put that one out at the
and
same
they
time?
literally took it off and then
Stop.
put my song on, which is also something you don't do like usually, especially because that song, I forget exactly what song it was, but it was doing well. Like it wasn't doing anything, but they just felt like, because it was 2020 and they were like, this is a really like upbeat happy song, maybe
was it
people
before
need
COVID?
this
Or in the middle of COVID?
It was like I mean, I filmed in January 2020.
Slid in at the
And
last
then-
minute,
and
and
I
then
re-
the world shut down.
Truly, I remember when, so they Zoomed me and they were like, we're gonna, you know, put Champagne Night to radio. There's a Zoom of it, and I'm like, what? Like,
Stop
so
it.
shocked. And then I got a call. I remember being like, do you want to be in the music video? And I'm like, yes, we're filming here, blah, blah, blah. And then like a day later, they were like, hey, this thing, COVID is happening. Like, we can't film in person, but like, can you send like a video of you dancing to it or whatever? So I'm technically in the video, like in my friend's house dancing around, but it was like just as it all was happening. So.
And it went to number one for 3. Were you already living here in Nashville?
Yeah.
How long had you been in Nashville before you went on Songland?
Like I moved in 2018, so
Okay.
really 2 years. The first year I was traveling back to Canada so much that I feel like, I don't know, I really wasn't in town as much, so it really felt like kind of more of like a year that it took. Yeah, which is
So
insane.
how did you know it was time to leave Canada and come here? Because you're killing it in Canada. I mean, you could have probably stayed there and had a really strong career, right?
Yeah, I think that it had always been, I mean, I went to Nashville for the first time when I was like 15 or 16 and remember being like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. This mythical land where people write songs for a living. And this is where all my favorite artists live, and just was really appealing to me. But like, how do you get there? Okay, you need money, you need a visa, there's like all these steps. And so in my head, I was like, I'm going to move to Toronto, which is Canada's biggest city. It's like our New York kind of thing, a bunch of people there. I'm going to live there, and you can drive to Nashville from there. It takes like 8 to 10 hours. So I originally moved there and would just drive back and forth, which was fun. And then
So fun.
and then
Lots of time to think about song ideas.
truly. And then I would go down to Nashville and, meet with people and stuff. And the head of Sony, actually, who's my publisher now, which is hilarious. I remember him saying like, I think you're really great, but you don't live here. So. And I was like, okay, I have to move here. It has to happen. And so
So
literally
how old were you?
saved up money, 23,
Okay.
I guess. 23, maybe 22.
Was that scary?
Yeah.
Did
it
you
was
know
very
anyone?
scary.
You've been coming.
Yeah, I'd been coming. I definitely knew like some people for sure, but not really, not anybody. And so you just kind of came down, and it was like everything is new. You have no credit too, right? You're like
But you did. You had all this Canadian credit.
But it doesn't matter. Like even your so I couldn't get a credit. It's tough to get a
like
credit
real
card.
credit.
Real credit. Yeah.
I thought you meant like people giving you credibility.
No, I didn't even have any of that either. But
like the real actual like credit to your
I'd
name.
be like, I have a song in Canada. And we were like, we don't care. I was like, oh, okay.
I think that's so cool.
I think what Canada brought is a ton of experience.
Yeah.
You know, which is great. And I feel like I owned my own equipment and was used to touring and like these really high pressure situations and award shows and stuff like that. So
and that's huge.
It prepared me. Yeah, exactly.
People like that is a learning curve. Like that you cannot learn that online. You have to learn that in the flesh and blood.
Ooh, like nerves, like even Songland. I remember it's like you're about to go out there, and I remember being like, "Am I gonna pass out?" like,
and like, what if you like mess up or forget a word or say something stupid?
Just racing, like you're like totally.
But you know, in the songwriting room, no idea is dare to suck. You know, and so like you're daring to suck on live TV.
Yeah,
I mean that's hard.
Totally, and what people at home are gonna think and comments and
Yeah.
stuff like that, which is always so fun.
Because the songwriting process is like sorting it out. It can get a little messy. You throw stuff out there, so it's like putting your innermost like intimacy thoughts in your mind out there because you're trying to craft this song.
Exactly, yeah, because your bad idea could lead your co-writer to a great idea, and so that's it's super crucial for it. So there's a lot of fear, but I
You can handle the high pressure.
I guess I think that I'm like, and I'm a pretty anxious person internally, and I'm fearful, I guess, but I always do it. And I always show up, and I do it scared. That's like my whole thing. Like my phone background's like, do it scared. It's like
Does John Wayne say courage is being scared to death, but saddling up anyway?
Exactly.
I mean, I think
the key.
That's the key
to it all. And if there's no nerves or like no fear, then maybe, I don't know, it doesn't really matter that much. But I'm like scared of everything. But I'll be there scared. But
that means you're really pushing yourself as far as you can go. You are not in a comfort zone.
Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing. So after Songland and freaking Champagne Nights, right?
Yeah.
Or
Night.
Champagne Night goes number one for 3 weeks. COVID hits. What happens with your career? Now, what happens next?
Yeah, so I signed a record deal.
Did that help? Songland help?
Yes.
It did.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes TV shows don't help.
Yeah.
But this one did.
It did, yeah.
Do you think it's because Lady A cut it that helped? It was just like a perfect storm? Or like, do you think it would have happened anyway?
I don't know. I think it definitely could have helped. And I think Lady A, not only did they cut the song, but like the way that they announced they were putting it to radio is they posted that Zoom of them telling me. And then I did like
They included you.
They included me. And
wow, that's amazing.
and like I did this thing with Hillary, and we like this panel thing, and then they had a show in Franklin or at the Quarry thing, and they at the meet and greet they brought me up to sing it with them and like stuff like that. So they
kind of like took your hand and
they
said,
did, and I think that helped a lot too, that it was like, oh, they were like, we believe in her and we think she's great. And Dave Haywood recommended me to be a Grammy member. Like they went out of their way to. They're really, really great people, and I'm so grateful for them. So I think that also helped too. But yeah, I signed a record deal with BMG
in
2020. But it was kind of like, okay, we can't do anything right now, so just chill for a second, because it was, nothing really was moving and stuff. And so that happened, and then I was signed to a smaller kind of publishing company at the time. And then when my deal was up with them, I signed to Sony Nashville, which really helps as well, and such an amazing company. So that just bared so much I won like an ASCAP award, and that was my CCMA for Songwriter of the Year. Like it was insane how much fruit that song, this like silly song about having a good time, gave me. Like what a song can do,
Wow. Okay, so let's talk about how you manifest, because I also loved that you had a bottle of champagne and you're like, Opry debut.
Yeah.
And you're like, you put it in somewhere in your house and you just wrote that on there, and you're like, I'm going to open this when I debut on the Opry. It's like, it's going to happen. You're preparing for it. Same thing with like the keychain with Shane McAnally. It's like, how do you manifest? Because I have this theory too.
Okay.
And tell me if you agree with this, because I believe in manifestation too. But I sometimes derail myself, and I wonder why I do that, because I'm like, I know I believe in this. Like, why can I not see it through all the way? And I have come to the conclusion that the bigger the vision, the longer the delay for it to happen. because it's like you're almost a architect, you know, like if you're going to build a castle, you've got to draw up the blueprints. That's going to take a long time because there's a lot to a castle. And then actually getting it from your mind to the blueprint, from the blueprint to actual physical is going to take longer than to put in a pool and a back deck.
Right. Yeah.
You know? And so like if you were visualizing like winning artist of the year or a Grand Ole Opry debut, there's so much energy that has to come together. It's such a big energy field that has to come together that there's a longer delay from when you dreamed it up. So it's like there's so many things that can sidetrack you in the process or derail you. Like something happens or maybe like you get bad news or someone comes out here and like is bringing in some doubt or something, you know, takes your path and it could take you off the track because you're like, it's not happening. Oh my gosh, like something's wrong. And then once you get into the mindset of something's wrong, then you lose your momentum and your energy and you kind of like fall back a little bit.
Yeah.
But really, it's going to happen, but you just have to hold the energy because it's a big vision. Does that feel right?
I love that. I love holding the energy because it's this like swing on yourself, really. The first bottle that I got was in 2019, actually. I had done a showcase in Nashville where I brought like my band from Canada down. We invited everybody we knew and a bunch of record labels came out, and one record label was like, that night was like, we want to sign you. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's happening. Like, this is it. This is the thing. It's happening. And then a couple days later, they're like, we just signed another girl, so we're not going to sign you. And I was crushed. Crushed.
But it's almost worse than them never wanting to sign you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
I was like, I felt like I had it in my hand and then it just kind of slipped out. And I'm like, and the show went so well. That was the thing, is I was like, we rehearsed, we were ready. The place was packed. I did it. Like, I was like, I walked away from it being like, I don't know like how much better I could have done than that. And so like, that was all I could do. And they said that to me and I was so crushed. And this is like probably November or something.
Of what year?
This is 2018.
So this all happened fast when you got to Nashville.
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
so it's moving quick.
It's moving quick. So 29. No, it would be 2020. Okay, sorry, that happened 2019. So 2020 January.
Okay,
you
had a big 2020 before the shutdown.
I know.
You packed a lot into those first 3 months.
Yeah. So 2020 happens. I'm in a liquor store. Who knows what I'm doing in there? I don't know.
Buying
no one's business.
You're buying bottles to put more manifestation tags on.
Well, so I think my friend had got a new job something. So I was buying a bottle of champagne for her, and I looked at this bottle of Dom on the shelf. It was like $230 or whatever, and I was like, I'm buying that, and I bought it, and I put get a U.S. record deal on my first sticky note in January. And I'm like, I'm tired of this. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, I just did the showcase. They told me they were going to sign me. Now they don't want to sign me. Like, I'm so frustrated. I need to bet on myself. I need to put this, I needed to look at this. I needed to like hold myself accountable. Yeah. I needed to claim that this was going to happen. It was sign the deal, not like hopefully or one day. It was like, no, it's going to happen. And that was the beginning of 2020. And then January, same month, I'm filming Songland, and then later that year, I end up signing the deal. And so then shortly after that,
you signed with Broken Bow in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So 2020 was surprisingly a great year for you.
It was a great year for me. I also met my husband in 2020.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Mm-hmm. We met at Tin Roof.
I met my husband at Tin Roof. A lot of magic goes down at Tin Roof.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
I was drunk and I was like, you better come make out with me.
I knew there were other people that met at Tin Roof. People like when we had our wedding, we did our after party at Tin Roof. And they had said, people like meet their partners at Tin Roof.
Is special.
I've never met anyone else. I love that so much.
Oh my God. Tin Roof. Well, back in the day when I was singing back in my previous lifetime, I would sing at Tin Roof every Tuesday or Wednesday or something. And so he was coming. I mean, this was like 20 years ago.
Wow,
or 15 years ago. It was a whole nother world. But like Tin Roof was the spot.
Yeah.
Everybody went to Tin Roof. Do they still? I don't go out anymore.
I don't know. I don't know either.
We got the magic.
I know. I'm like, I thank you for your service. But
how did y'all meet?
We literally had
like, what was the moment at Tin Roof?
Who knows what I was doing? I don't know.
What are you like when you're drinking?
Night. I'm super fun, super happy. Okay. I'm not a big drinker just because I get sick, which sucks. People that can like, I don't know, like I'll get sick before I ever get
like puke
too crazy. Yeah. My stomach. I don't know if I'm like been allergic this whole time, but I just like, it doesn't like agree with me, which, I've just powered through for my life. But sometimes I'm like, I actually can't do this tonight. But yeah, definitely pretty positive, fun, like to have a good time for sure.
Because you're out there at Tin Roof.
We're out there at Tin Roof. My friends.
And you'd had a breakup before this, because
yes,
I feel like One House Down from the Girl Next Door is about the previous breakup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When had you broken up?
We had broken up. It had been a year. So I had this year of singleness.
So great.
Which was the first time that I had really, I think, a serial kind of relationship-y person, desperately searching for someone to not abandon me and love me, and definitely goes back to all of the childhood issues of not feeling good enough, and all that. And so I felt like after we had a messy breakup and then, jumped right into another thing that was like, whatever. And my mom, I remember, she was like, could you just chill out? Like, I'm putting you on a hiatus. Like, you're not allowed to date anybody for a year. And I didn't. And it was the greatest year. It was amazing.
Okay, so you just dug into yourself, did some healing.
My friends, like I was just like, got to have so much fun with them, and we were all kind of in the same place as well, which was single in Nashville. It's just such a great time.
Yes.
And we just had such a blast and just got to know myself and what I really wanted to, and found like some security and peace and identity in like just myself. I think I might have had some like codependency issues, like looking back. And then I feel like just, they always say when you're in a good spot, then you end up meeting the right person. So, yeah. So the whole breakup was kind of like before that period. But it was just a bit of a crazy time. And it was interesting when I was writing for this project. Like, I think once you're in a good place, I feel as a songwriter, I have so much more perspective and can like look back at situations and see them in different ways and see what was really going on. Yeah. Because when you're in it, you're kind of just like, I'm like, where was my head at? Like, I don't really know. But now stepping back, I can be like, oh, this is kind of what I was going through. And this is why I did what I did. And it allows me to be almost like a third person writer about myself. And so that period, just because it was so sticky and messy and hard, and my like anxiety, depression was insane. I was so debilitating, and I was just able to kind of look around that time and find some moments where I'm like, oh, I learned this here, and it's a interesting and hard time to write about, but I've written about it a lot.
So you left the breakup though, right? It feels like from your music.
Yeah.
You just knew?
I did, but I think it had just hit its time, really.
You're either going to get married or break up.
Yeah. And I think honestly, I think my mental health had a great deal to do with it. Like, I feel like it was so bad, and I was just not even myself. And I think that like I did some things that like I don't even know, like I said, what I was thinking and like what I was doing. And I really needed, I think, to be alone, figure out what was going on, and be okay by myself and take care of myself. And I mean, every relationship, like, your partners, their life affects your life. And I really was having a hard time just dealing with myself, that I needed to be alone, I think, to kind of like, okay, where are we at? What can we do? I needed to like really help myself. So I think it came from that place.
Okay, so you're at Tin Roof, having a great time with your girls, and here comes Chase. Like, what was it? Did y'all kiss that night? Did you see him and like, I love this guy? Did it take a little while?
He was really cute. My husband is he's just a good looking guy. He was wearing a hoodie and a plaid over top. He was with his friends. He looked like he was having a really good time.
And he's not a musician.
Not a musician.
Which is also great.
Yes. He's an attorney.
Oh, wonderful.
And so I know when we started talking, I'm like, what? Like, I don't know. He's so smart and so sweet and so kind. And we had one mutual friend. So his friend's wife knew my friend. So we had one point of
You knew he wasn't a serial killer.
Yeah, exactly. Which is nice to know.
It is nice.
It's nice when there's a little recommendation, for sure. And the mutual friend was like, he is like the best guy. And he really is. And so we just talked all night. I remember we went to like another bar after, and I'm like, do you want to come with us? He was like, yeah, I'll go anywhere.
So he was in love.
And I'm like, where are your friends? He's like, I don't care. Like, he was like, I'll see y'all later. Like, we just totally clicked. And after, we went out for dinner and went on a couple of dates and stuff like that. And he was like, I just feel like I've never like clicked with anybody like that. And I mean, he's from here, and we grew up so different and so like completely different cultures, really, and like lives, but yet we're so similar in the way that we thought about the world and viewed everything. And yeah, it was a pretty much like right away thing that
so
I was
you were
like,
like together immediately.
and I was like, this is the guy you marry. Like it really, like he's gonna be there for you when things inevitably hit the fan, which they do. That's the thing. I think as you get older and you're thinking about like picking a life partner, like it's not all about like how much fun are you guys gonna have on the weekend. It's like if things go crazy and who's gonna be like in the hospital bed holding your hand, like you have to think about that.
Yes.
And I was like, this is a good person. My favorite thing about him.
How has marriage been?
It's been great. It's been awesome.
Have you been married a year?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we're still kind of new in it, but I mean, it's been so fun. It's like an incredibly healing thing for me, I think too. Like even like with the engagement, it was like, whoa, like you're promising to like stay. Like that's crazy. Like for me and just everything that I have gone through, that was like just trusting men, I think in general has been difficult for me.
Have you always kind of wanted the option to be able to bolt?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Of
Yeah.
course. Yeah. And just feeling like I just don't like you're saying that you're not going to do that. But like, are you? Like, I'm just very skeptical, I think.
They're going to hold their word.
Yeah. And I think that more times than not, they've proven my skepticism right. And that's hard, you know, to feel like you've just been let down a ton by people who are supposed to not do that. And so it's a weird like paradigm shift to really fully trust somebody and open yourself up to that. But that's been so healing. And then in marriage is like that added level of like, oh, true partnership and like, you know, whatever I'm going through, he's going through and we have each other's back. And like that level of just like in it together is so good for the soul, I think.
How does he handle your career? Because you're a freaking smoke show. I mean, you're so hot. You're so talented. And you're so like you have such stage presence. So like when people see you on stage, they're going to fall in love with you. Like I was falling in love with you when I was watching your whole like video montage you did of One House Down from the Girl Next Door. It's like you're in this house and you go through all these different rooms. Yeah. Each song is a different room, which I kind of want to talk about that vision because it's so cool. I was feeling the experience.
Oh, I love that.
It was such a cool journey. But I was like, damn, I think I am in love with you.
I think I love you.
I think I love you. So I was like, how does he handle that knowing that all these people are feeling how I feel?
Yeah. Honestly, he's just a very secure person. He really doesn't. He's not like a super jealous. Like I think he just has confidence in us and like what we do. And he's just my biggest cheer. Like he's never been a thing. I also will say that he works a lot. He's very motivated. He's really good at his job. And, I think that also he has a lot of confidence in himself. And when I'm on the road a bunch, like it's not like he's just at home being like, where are you? Like he's got his own world that's really hectic and busy and crazy going on. And so sometimes it feels like we're like passing ships a bit when we both have so much going on. But also there's just such a mutual understanding of like, this is grind time right now. Like we're both here to like work really hard and focus on our careers. And he just knows that it's like, this is my job, you know. And
that's amazing.
Yeah,
you
I
have
think
to have that
mutual kind of understanding.
I feel
is
like
important.
having a jealous partner would just be detrimental in every aspect.
Yeah, and unnecessary drama. Like it's hard enough, you know.
Yeah, at least have your partner as your biggest teammate.
Yeah, and that stuff is earned, you know, too. Trust is earned, and so I've never done anything or made him feel like he has anything to worry about, and vice versa. And so now we don't have that like lingering feeling, and so that's why, you know, making sure you make the right decisions and building trust in a relationship is important because it removes that like unknown element, you know.
So true. Okay, so talk to me about the vision of One House Down from the Girl Next Door. Title track, Keith Urban's playing guitar. How did that happen?
Crazy, right? Oh my gosh. So Manifester, as we've talked about earlier, I was in the studio and I was talking to my producer about how it sounded like an early Keith Urban song. There's something about it that just feels a little like long, hot summer kind of vibe. And I was like, it'd be so sick if Keith played a solo on this. And he was like, I can ask him.
Your producer knows him?
Mm-hmm. And he's like, there's like a 19% chance he says yes. But
well, 19 is pretty good.
That's what I said. I'm like, I'll take 19%. And so he texted him the song. And Keith was like, I love it, mate. I'll come in and do it. And then he said he was coming on like a Monday and it was like a Thursday. And so every day I'm like, he's going to cancel. Nicole's going to need him somewhere. There's no way like he's actually going to do this. And then my producer just sent me this video of him doing it. And I nearly crashed my car when I watched it. I was like, this is the coolest thing. And that's the thing. It's like, why not ask? Like
why not?
worst they can say is no. Like, okay,
right,
that's totally fine. And if he has,
what if they say yes?
That's fine. Yeah, but then sometimes randomly magical things happen, and people just are like, yeah. And he liked the song enough to play on it, you know. So
have you met him in person? Not yet.
I played a festival with him once, and he was like backstage, but I never really like talked to him. But we've got like a few degrees of separation.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He really seems like such a great guy, and for him to do that for this artist that's like, who is she? You know what I mean? Like, that says a lot, I think, about him and his love of music and
his belief in artist.
Yeah, to like prop somebody else up and lend his incredible talent to someone who's kind of still new, you know.
You really have amazing. A lot of support, like starting with Lady A, with Shane, with Keith Urban, like from the beginning.
Been
like
super blessed.
And you've done all like Jelly Roll too.
Yeah, I've done some stuff. I moonlight as a background singer, so that's.
So are you like friends with him a little bit?
Yeah, I would say so. And he's so great.
I mean, talk about inspirational dude. He's changing the world.
He really is. And I get asked all the time, is he who he like looks like he is? You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, yes, it's not like a bit that he's doing. Like, he just genuinely, he radiates just humility. Like, he's so grateful to be wherever he's at. And I think he just has a heart for people. Like, he's trying to encourage people to change because it's possible. Like, you know, he's like, look where I am.
Right.
Like, anything can happen, you know, and hope is so powerful. You know?
And he's such a example, because literally he was like a felon, a convict, whatever, doing stuff, and like he rewired his entire brain and existence, and now he is like preaching the good word that you can be anything you want. He radiates positivity. He came from like such a mental, probably a scarcity mindset to like now full abundance. To switch that mindset is so hard.
Incredible.
And people have such a hard time doing that, but like it is so possible.
Absolutely.
And it's so cool to see that. And I feel honestly like your music does that too. I feel like we're kind of entering into a season where we are getting some healing messages. Like people are realizing the power of mental health. They're realizing the power of like being healthy. Just like having it's not like what it looks like on the outside. It's actually, how are you on the inside? And I think we've now studied artists and people long enough to know like people are suffering, people are struggling, and nobody has it figured out. Totally. And so like for people who have voices and platforms like yourself and Jelly Roll to be speaking, saying like, I feel the struggles and I'm doing the work and you can do it too. It's really encouraging.
It really is. I mean, I think I love that type of music. And like you said, there's, you know, people that look like their lives are perfect. They have, you know, fame and money, and then they take their own lives. Like, it's like, if you are not right on the inside, nothing matters. It's so important to be aware of that and like invest in that in every way. And I think even like subliminally in a way, I have a song called It Didn't, and it's just like, there's a horn section. It's really fun. And it's like, you know, the hook is, I thought it would kill me, but it didn't. And I sing it every night, and it's like, you kind of listen and you're like, oh, this is about a breakup or something. She's going through something, obviously, but it's like, nothing's going to stop her. She's going to get through it, is the vibe of the song. And I wrote that about like my struggle and journey with, you know, anxiety, depression. And when I say I thought it would kill me, but it didn't, I'm not like, that's not in a metaphorical way. Like, I mean every word of that. And to sing that in front of a crowd and watch people kind of get hit with that, it's like, you can get through anything. Like, there's always a little light at the end of the tunnel. It's just about continuing to keep walking, and you're gonna get there, kind of thing. And it's so corny and whatever, but like, life happens and hard things happen. And I think music for me is like, I'm not one of those people that if I'm really sad, I'm going to turn on a sad song and lie there and like suffer in it. And some people do like go off. But for me, I'm like very mindful, like, okay, I'm feeling really dark right now. This is a dangerous place for me to be. What do I need to do? And that's like, oh, I'm going to turn on maybe a Jelly song or a worship song or whatever I need to listen to like pull me out of it and give me that little hope that like I can get through it. I think it's important. Those songs exist.
How did God change your life?
In every way.
How did you feel it? Because you went to church and you had the moment, and what went through you? What changed?
It was a feeling of just like warmth and peace and acceptance. And I had just never really felt, it was very otherworldly. It was very unexplainable. And even as a Christian, I can't like quote you all the scripture. I'm not like, I didn't grow up in it. I don't know like all the ins and the outs of everything. And I have questions and doubts and thoughts. And I'm like, I don't really, you know, everybody does. But I cannot make up the way that experience was truly like otherworldly, where I felt the presence of God wrap its arms around me and be like, I'm like, here. Hello, I'm here. And I just saw, like, it was crazy like experience. And so it led me on this whole journey and be like, I don't know what that was, but like I need more of it. And today it's just about knowing that, you know, it's like his yoke is light. It's about just being like, okay, I'm feeling really weighed down by this. I need to like give this up and listen to the music and feel encouraged and feel hope and all of those things. And that's what he provides. And I think that's why when you're like a new, you're like so excited to tell everybody about it, because it's like, it really did just bring so much peace into my life. And there were moments where I was so anxious and having like 5 panic attacks. It was just literally so debilitated by my depression. And I'm like, I can't like live like this anymore. Like, this is not okay. Like I this isn't a life. But then he has a promise that like, it's like, I know he's going to pull me through this. And I know that there's like a promise at the end of it. And I know that like he's with, like I felt him with me the entire time. It was the only thing that I had to hold on to. Nothing else was but that he's with me and that he wants better for me. And he pulled me out of it. And therapy and medication and all of the things that I did. But it really was like
the root
of it in the darkest parts of the storm. There was one thing that I was like, I feel God is in my heart, and you know, he wants me to stay here for a reason. So
when you talk about God, it's real.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. I love that so much. I feel like also that's something we're shifting into, like real faith, you know? Because like the whole fire and brimstone and you're going to hell if you do this, that, or the other. And that's another reason why I love Jelly Roll so much, because I went to a show and everybody's freaking smoking weed in the audience, but it's like he's up there preaching the good word. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be this perfect human being, but you just have to know that you are loved, that you are worthy, that you are supposed to be here, that you matter, that your dream is real, that whatever's on your heart is put there from a higher place. And no matter what happened to you, all of your mess truly can be your message if you just go into God and like work on the healing and find. But I mean, it is hard work, but once you do it, you get a love and a peace and an understanding and a knowing of your worth. I searched for my worth forever, and I always believed in God, but like I felt God, but I still would just like freak out and like get caught up in the world standards and caught up in comparison and caught up in not feeling like I was good enough and all the things.
Of course.
But finally, when I've gotten to the place where I'm like, God, I'm just gonna fully trust you and let you guide my steps, like with everything, it's like a full surrender. And I honestly feel like I've gotten to a place where I'm like 75% full surrender.
Yeah.
Like I'm like,
that's amazing.
Even when I wake up, I'm like, it's your day, God. Like I plan it, but I'm like, I let my minutes work out the way they're supposed to, everything flow. And I'm like, I'm just trusting that it's all a bigger plan and it's really not up to me. I'm just going to show up and do my part.
Yeah.
But there's something bigger that's supposed to be flowing through me.
Exactly. And I think in the theory of it's like, especially in this business, but in life in general, if something amazing happens, it's like, thank you, God, or it's thank you, me. Good job, me. I'm so good. I've crushed it. I'm so like, think about those two passages of thoughts. One is like in true humility and being like song like what an incredible chain of events for me to get this call and go to the show, and they picked me to be with them, and this happened and this happened and they took it to radio. Why did they do that?
You got
like
3-week number 1.
All of those things.
You have
2 paths the way you can think and process that situation. Wow. I'm awesome. Like I've done this, or like, God, thank you. You heard my prayer. Like you blessed me. This is a blessing. This is an opportunity that people work so hard for. There's garbage men that can sing circles around me, but you've given this to me, and I'm going to like be a good person and love others and make you proud. And thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Or
look how great I am.
Me, I'm great. And so even I think like if you really zoom out and like, whether it's all nothing or it is, you know, when you think about the way that you're leading and directing your life, or when hard things happen too, you know, what, this is all because of me. Wow.
And then also
that's shame. That's deep
but what
shame.
About like honestly saying thank you, God, when hard things happen? Because like, holy shit, like if I know my life and like my family's life, we have gone through some horribly hard things.
Yeah.
But when you do get through them, you are a deeper, wiser, more evolved person. Your faith is stronger. You have more understanding, more compassion, more empathy, more all of the good fruits of the spirit are more. But you have to walk through that valley of the shadow of death, and it's the freaking worst, but it's honestly like being able to say like, oh, okay, you are putting me through this because you're growing me. You know,
we're meant to walk uphill. I mean, the promise is not that everything's going to be great all the time. That's the thing. It's like no one walks through this thing unscathed. It's like we are met with resistance, and some people have a lot of resistance and some people, you know, don't, or whatever it is. And it's unfair and it doesn't make any sense and nobody knows. But you're right. It's like at the end of it, you're like, you learn a lot and you feel like there's purpose in the pain that you've gone through. And that's, I mean, that takes a lot of humility and trust and faith, really, to thank God. And we have a whiteboard at our house, and it's like a mountain and a valley, and we're like, same God in the mountain and in the valley. Like, it's the same thing. So we thank him in both.
Man. Okay, tell me about the visual for One House Down for the Girl Next Door, because it is such a visual experience. How'd you come up with this?
Well, I think when I wrote One House Down from the Girl Next Door, I was obsessed with this like idea, and then I wrote the song, and I'm like, I want to name the project of the song. I want it to be this like house, and brought it to my team. And there's a really creative guy that I work with, Brad Hirsch, and he had so many great, you know, ideas and the visuals of this house and how each thing would be in the different room. And I think I'm so lucky to work with such talented people. It was super collaborative and really made sense that like each song would be in a different room.
We kind of walked me through the songs in the rooms. Can you start with Dustin Lynch, who you have a big single with? It's a single, right?
Yeah.
And he's
Broken
the
Heart
first
thing.
Broken Heart thing. Y'all start together. So is it kind of the beginning of the story? Like he's the breakup.
Yeah.
Like you guys are kind of telling your perspective in this song. You're breaking up in this house. It's the beginning of the saga.
Yes. And the real overarching theme too in all of the breakup-y ones is you'll notice that all of them are for the best. Like in no other way. You listen to it, and in the bridge of that, it's like, I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm just trying to get used to this like really hard thing that I'm now dealing with. And that's kind of the energy that it goes through. It's like, oh, this hurts, but like, I think it's for the best. Oh, this hurts, but I think it's for the best. So Broken Heart thing.
It's a mature breakup, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then I think the second one, there's 4 songs on that kind of visual, but there's 7 or 6 on the project. But I think the second video is Good Grief. No, it would be Middle of the Bed is the second one.
No, there's one before it. Middle of the
I don't know.
No, maybe I'm wrong. No, Middle of the Bed.
Do you remember?
Oh, freaking I know. Right.
Bar Fight? No, but Bar Fight's not.
I love Bar Fight.
Thank you. I think Bar Fight's definitely second on the project. It's not featured in the visual of it.
Middle of the Bed is very sexy. I was like, you are so fun in that video.
It's such a blast.
You're so cute and fun. I was like, how you have I was like, if people don't fall in love with you in this, like you're just like, you radiate all of charisma and adorableness, and like
so sweet.
It's so playful and fun, and you're cool. Like you have such cool moves.
Oh, thank you.
Like you got moves, girl.
Oh my gosh. You know,
I was like wanting to get in my mirror and try to like copy you. Like back in the day with a hairbrush, like how does she move her hands like that?
Oh my gosh. And the whole thing about doing anything like visual like that is like you just feel so cringe the whole time, and you just hope it doesn't like come across that bad. And even I watched, I'm like, ugh, I think it's okay because it's you or whatever. But yeah, Middle of the Bed's definitely it's the second one, and it's like, you know, you're kind of going through this thing and you think you're okay, and then in the middle of the night you kind of reach for them, which is a real thing that happened to me, where it was this like really zoomed in like snapshot moment, and I remember at the time being like, this is so bizarre, like I really want to write a song about this feeling, like how did I just forget we broke up? It's so insane. And the song just turned out so cool. I feel like really captures that moment. And then I think Good Grief is after that, and that one's just about purpose in the pain, and
very conscious healing.
Very conscious healing, and I love that song so much. It feels so good. And then One House Down is on the roof. So Good Grief is in the kitchen, Middle of the Bed's in the bedroom, Broken Heart Things in the living room, and then One House Down's on the roof, which was steeper than it looked.
Tell me why you wanted to end on the roof, because you said that was very symbolic for you.
Yeah, like it ends on a high, and so One House Down is really meeting my husband.
Okay, so you're saying like he didn't think he would get the girl one house down from the girl next door?
Yeah, I think that, I mean, he's from here and he grew up really in this cute little street with his like, he's such a golden boy, you know what I mean? Like he's so smart and beautiful and like all of the things, and like even when we met, I mean, have some tattoos and like a nose ring. And like, I think that was new, not really to him, but I think certainly his family and stuff like that. I wasn't really sure. I felt like I was a lot more, I don't know, crazy in all the ways than him. And even like knowing where he came from and his family and stuff. And then I like looked at mine and I was like, whoa, like very different, and explaining kind of things I'd gone through. And instead of him being like, oh, he was like, wow, I can't believe you went through that. Like, you're so strong. Like, you're so amazing for doing that. And he just saw so much strength. He's like, that's so, like, you're so brave. You're so cool. Like, that's so awesome. And I was just met with so much like love and acceptance for it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so healing. And so that song is really about that. Like, I'm sure that, you know, that might have not been who him or maybe his family thought he'd end up with, but he did, and we're like perfect for each other in that way. And he loves all of the things about me that maybe I didn't love about myself, you know.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So
and then tell me about the Opry debut, because that was a big deal. You finally popped that champagne.
Yes, finally popped it. It's so special. I mean, as soon as you become aware of country music, you're pretty much aware of the Opry, and that there's a stage, and it's very important. And only to step into that circle, you have to be invited. And you know, it's just been on my, you know, bucket list and goal list really since I was a kid. And to get that call is just so special. I got to call him.
And Dustin came out and sang with you?
Dustin came out saying Dustin is the best. He's truly the best person ever. I love him so much, and he's so talented. And
he gave you a present.
So
what was the present he gave you?
At the Opry.
Yeah.
Let me think. It was like really cute. There was like candles and candlesticks and
that is sweet.
Like very thoughtful things. Yeah. I'm like,
that was very kind.
I know, he's such an angel. He really is. He's so he's just one of those people that you walk in the room, whoever you are, and he's going to invite you into the circle and get you a drink and make sure you're cool and lift you up. And
that's awesome.
I was so nervous at the Opry too. I was like literally shaking. I was so scared because I just want to do such a good job. And I'm like, what if I go up there and I forget everything and it's a disaster? And he was like, oh, like he was just so mellow and chill. He's like, I've done this like 100 times. Like, you're going to be completely fine. And his just chill energy was really comforting to me. And yeah. It was great. It really was. It was so special.
So what's left on the bucket list now? I mean, you've manifested some huge things. You Songland, to having a #1 with Lady A, to getting your own record deal, publishing deal, getting the husband of your dreams, you know, Opry debut. You got it going on, made this awesome body of work.
Thank you. Appreciate
what
that.
is up next for your manifestation bottles? I love that.
Yeah, it was interesting. I made my husband's an attorney. I made him do one too, and his was make partner, and we just popped his like a month ago.
Stop it.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? A year early too. His for me part a year early.
Maybe having the bottle in front of you is helpful.
I know. I mean, it's got a pretty good track record. Everybody should maybe try. So the next bottle says go to country radio. So that's the next bottle, which is big, and it's like a, you know, it's really challenging thing and a big goal, which is just, it's always scary writing it and putting it in there.
Thing not go to country radio?
It hasn't gone.
Okay.
It is actually at radio in Canada, which is great, but it isn't in the US yet. So that's a big goal, whether it's that song or a different song or whatever it is.
We'll be off of this body of work.
Hopefully.
Unless something else slides in. There's always room for magic.
Totally. There's a lot of like avenues in order to, you know, get to that place.
I think makeup one day should go. I mean, I know that was already like,
yeah,
you've already put it out a while ago.
That you love that song.
I love that song.
I love it too.
I love that song. Tell me the chorus, because I want girls to know this, because it's not just about like makeup on your face. Like,
no,
are you more than the makeup? But
yeah. So the chorus is, do I hate my body because my mother hated hers?
That killed me. I'm like, do we not inherit that? You know, like all women, just inherit it from all women.
Since like your first memory of consciousness, you're like,
like
I hate my body. Yeah, it's like how.
I need to get on a diet. I mean, I've been on diet since I was like 14 years old.
I know. It's absurd. It's crazy. And then, do I hate my body because my mother hated hers? I bet I can't control my temper because my daddy never would. Could I make love last forever if my parents never could? Will I ever know the difference between good enough and good? Yeah.
And then the hook, though.
Can you change the way you're made up if you scrub it hard enough? Can you ever wash off what's in your makeup?
Why does that make me just want to like bawl? I feel like so many of us feel that way. I mean, I want that song to have a big life.
Thank you.
It's a very powerful song.
My hope and dream for that song when it came out and forever is that it just like it's heard by somebody that like needs to hear it. Like I said, when my therapist said to me, like, you are going to be handed a lot of things. You don't need to take them. Like, and we just talked through this kind of, I just thought I was going to be angry because, like, that's just like what I always thought I would. And it's like, no, like, you can do whatever you want. It was liberating for me. And so to be able to like write it in a song like that, I'm so proud of. I'm like, oh, I just want somebody who needs to hear that message to hear it, because it is like a game-changing thing. And it's crazy. I mean, when I've played it, we've had grown men come up to me with tears in their eyes and said, like, you know, I promised myself I wouldn't be like my dad, I wouldn't drink like him, or I wouldn't do this, or whatever it is. And it's already like had such a sweet life, and I hope that more people hear it truly just to heal, because it helped me, certainly.
Man, okay, so single at country radio, that's our next bottle.
That's the next bottle, yeah.
Okay, and we're thinking,
I try to do one bottle at a time.
Okay, that's good.
But I guess I could do a few.
What would be if you were going to add a second bottle to it?
I mean, I have like dream venues, like I want to play Red Rocks.
Okay.
I would love to make like a full length album one day. I would love to go on like a full tour. All of the artisty things. I also too am trying to like, I want to have a kid one day. Like, I'm trying to like, also, this is my life. My life isn't just all my career. Like, what personal goals do you have? Like, okay, I want to go to travel to these places and be a better cook, and try to make personal goals too, for my sanity, you know?
I interviewed Maddie and Tay, and I also interviewed Runaway June, and Jen and I have been friends forever, and Maddie and Tay, and we were talking about like how hard it is to prioritize having a kid when you're a female artist. Like, it is really hard, because this is such a demanding career.
Yeah.
And for so long, I do feel like that is shifting, but for so long, it really wasn't like cool to have a kid. Like, if you were like trying to be an artist, you can't really get pregnant and have a kid and let that part of your life be seen. You need to be focused, eye on the prize,
and like logistically,
and devote your whole life to this career. Like, there's no room for anything else.
Yeah. I mean, I still I'm like, how would you do both?
You just do it.
But you just do. And people do it all the time, but it's like hard to like compute that in your head. I'm like, oh. And
maybe it's not time, because I do think there's a period of time where it's like the grind is so hard.
Yeah.
But once you like get to a certain point, it's like, okay, I'm not going to just grind forever. I am going to have more to my life.
For sure. Absolutely. And I think too, like, it's just, it's my life, you know.
It's your life. What do you want?
Like, I wouldn't want to miss out on something. And like I said, I do a lot of things scared. So that, to start that chapter, whenever it may be, I don't think it'll be sometime like really soon or anything, but that scares the hell out of me. I'm terrified for so many different reasons, but I'm gonna do it scared, and I hope that, you know,
I love that.
the Lord blesses me with that and stuff. I was always thinking, like, you know, all of the scary thoughts that you have, and you're like, what if I can? Like, what about this? What about that? So many like unanswered fears and questions about it, but it's also like going to be really great and exciting. So
it is. The baby process is really something. Like, I've done so many podcasts on it, because I had such a hard journey to get pregnant, had a lot of losses, and but it's like, it also all teaches you something. You know, it sucks, but it's like, ugh, damn it, there's always something to learn.
Absolutely. Yeah, to understand your body and stuff. I mean, I feel like we aren't really taught that.
And to understand like it is like something coming from somewhere else is literally coming into your life.
Creating
you
life.
are creating life.
Pretty insane.
It is insane. It is so insane.
Yeah.
Okay, Madeline, you were
so
amazing.
fun.
I always wrap up. Is there anything else we need to talk about? Anything you want to share? Where can people find you?
I'm on all of the things.
Okay, what is your
Everything
handle?
is just Madeline Merlo, Madeline, and then Merlo, like the
Madeline.
wine. No T on the end though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so check everything out. Everyone needs to go. I encourage everyone to watch the visual of One House Down from the Girl Next Door. It is such a cool experience. Like, it is so cool.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, it's really, I can tell it's really thoughtful, and it's not just like someone shooting some content. You know, like sometimes it's like, oh, let's make content. This is like, no, this visual
Story
is a part of the songs.
Absolutely.
Like you express it so well that I actually feel like it's an extension of the songs, and it's not just like you're trying to get content because you need content.
Thank you. Yeah, we certainly tried really hard to have it, you know, be a thing and fit the energy of each song, and we put
and it shows you how cute you are, and just be prepared, everyone. You will fall in love with Madeline, because it's impossible not to. I always wrap up with leave your light, and it's super open ended, and just basically drop some inspiration. What do you want people to know?
About anything.
Yeah.
What a insanely large question. What do I want people to know? Truly, I want people to know that you have to be your best friend, because you are your only thing that you really got for this whole world. This is your body and your brain and your heart, and you can't be an enemy to it. Please stop being your own enemy and just like find a way to love her or him or whatever it is, because you'll wake up and be like, wow, I've spent so long hating me.
My one shot
at this, and I've spent so much time just hating me when I'm like just doing the best I can. It's my first time here. You know, it's our first rodeo.
And
we're trying our best.
I totally agree with you. It's like, and especially when you're born into trauma, everybody has trauma, but I have noticed when you are born into childhood trauma, you often don't realize that that's not how life has to be, because it's what set the tone. You know, if you're born into some sort of big, awful thing that you've had to deal with, you don't realize that it's not you, that was just your circumstances that you had to live through, but you had nothing else to compare it to. But you're so right, because it doesn't have to be your story, and you can actually get to a place where you love yourself and realize that that's not who you are.
Yeah, and have just so much grace for yourself. Oh my gosh, you know. So yeah, I would say stop being your enemy and be your friend.
I love that. Madeline, thank you so much for joining me. This was so much fun.
I loved it. It was great.
Thanks for hanging out with Kirby too.
Yes. I miss her already. I don't know where she is.
Okay, bye.